Hello everyone, this is Sonya from Sonya's Quilts and Embroidery, where I make lots and lots and lots and lots and lots of memory quilts every year. Memory teddy bears, memory pillows, you name it, I make it in memory of someone. Probably do about, I want to say about probably 200 of those a year. And I also do custom quilts. Now, during the past 2 weeks, which I call the holidays, which holidays are actually, Christmas is one Wednesday, New Year's is the next Wednesday, so technically the holidays are only like 8 days long. And so, but I guess I'm reverting back to when I had children in school, and that would be 2 weeks. So I took off. I actually did my last job on New Year's Eve, and not New Year's Eve, Christmas Eve, excuse me. And I've been out here cleaning, organizing, seeing what I need to order. I've gotten my shipping bags in. I've got stuffing I've got the polyfill for the teddy bears. I've got a few the 16 by 16 inch pillow forms that I use. Not enough, but I've got a few of those. I need to order some of those, and I get those at Walmart. I use the Crafter's Choice. I like the firmness of them. They do have a more expensive pillow form at Walmart. And the truth is, I used one of those one time because they were out of the Crafter's Choice, and the customer did not like the more expensive one. The Crafter's Choice is a nice, firm pillow form. Some of the other ones are just too soft, and they just don't stand up, perk up, hold up, and look pretty on a bed. They're just really, really, really just too soft. I know that's hard to believe in a pillow, but they're too soft. So I was watching during this 2 weeks, I like to try to, some of the things I was, I thought of, I thought while I was sewing and doing memory quilts and things like that, and doing what the orders were, I said, and I think, and I, think of a lot of things that, I would like to try, but I just don't have time. So during this 2 weeks, I kind of reevaluate my situation, and I kind of think, okay, what do you want to do? What is something that you would like to do? What would bring you joy? So I've been thinking about that a lot the last couple of weeks, and I've watched this video, and I watch a lot of YouTube, and I watch it, and sometimes I just listen. Maybe I don't carry it'll carry it around with me all over the shop while I'm doing it. I will pick something that like I've got some different people that I like to follow. Everybody knows I follow Pamela from Sterling Style, and then I like to follow I think her name is Jessica. I like to watch her. She's real upbeat, very motivative type. Has Etsy shop, and I like to watch this other lady, which is a total contrast to Pamela and Jessica. Her name is Darlene, and I would be afraid to pronounce her last name, which is her channel name. So I'm going to leave that Darlene's channel in the description box below, so that you can go and check her out. She's sort of crude. I think she's from Massachusetts or maybe Maine. I don't know, somewhere in the Northeast. And I enjoy watching her. She's does a lot of things with scraps. That gets me to the point I'm going to make here. I'm going to link the video that I watched and got this idea from. Sort of, I take other videos and I kind of tweak them to what I want to do. So, but I will link her video that I got my idea from, which I guess it wouldn't be my idea, but my version of her idea. And I'm starting off, well, first of all, let me show you what the end results is going to be. This is 2 blocks that I've already made. Let me turn these over. And I'm just doing the heart shape. And I've got some rip-wreck on here. There's a lot of raw edges showing on this, which I like. And this was on a diagonal, and this one is on sort of a diagonal, but not as much of a diagonal. It's more straight across than the first one. And then when I get through showing you how I do this, I will show you the third one, which is actually on the machine. It's finished, but I haven't gone and gotten it off the machine yet. But I'll go get it and show that one to you. But I start off with this is a 10-inch, just some yellow fabric, because this is the scraps I'm going to be using, kind of color coordinating with the yellow. And you could actually use just some scraps, like some scrap muslin, some, another color that doesn't have anything to do with the color scheme you're going to use. But if you do that, you would have to make sure you cover this solid. And with the way that I'm doing this, I'm not covering this solid. So I wanted something that was coordinating so that if it did show through, it wouldn't be a big deal. Like on this one is pretty solid, except you can see some of my background poking through the edges of the rickrack here. On this one, there's a whole section at the bottom that's showing through, and it's not noticeable because it's color coordinated. And plus, I love rickrack. My husband told me the other day, he said, I just don't like that rickrack stuff. And I said, well, I'm sorry, but if I could, I'd put rickrack on everything, because I love rickrack. This is called Jumbo Rickrack. I got this from an Etsy shop. I think I got like 10 colors of it. And I think the green is just about to play out on me. I think this is all the green that I have left, but I've got it in many other colors. But you could also, on this project, use yarn if you are using a machine that has a zigzag. My machine doesn't do anything but forwards and backwards, and it does not do a zigzag. I have a regular sewing machine, but unfortunately it has worn out, which these new machines do if you use them too much. And I've actually had that one for I bought this machine 2.5 years ago, so that machine is over 2.5 years old, and I bought this one to replace it, and it was still sew a straight stitch, but the zigzag, not so pretty. But you could do yarn if you have a machine that does zigzag. Basically any textile that you want to use, you could do this. You could even make this into a memory design if you want to use, like somebody, your man's shirts, and cut those up, or tear those up into small strips. I've cut these strips at just different widths. There's no rhyme or reason to them. Some of them are inch, some of them are 1.5 inches, and some of them are little tiny. And I got 3 fabrics here coordinating, and then I got the rickrack to bring out the green in the butterflies. So that's my reasons for picking what I did. And if you have a embroidery machine, then you would just this is the largest heart that my hoop will hold. I think it's like 8 or 8.5 inches. But this also can be done on a machine with a nice zigzag. A regular sewing machine with a nice zigzag. So what we're going to do, I've taken my 10-inch by 10-inch yellow fabric, and I'm just going to start building this new fabric that I'm making. And that's basically what you're doing, is you're creating your own textile with what you have. And this is a great scrap buster, wonderful scrap buster. Let's just start out with a pink in the middle. I'm going to do this in a really zigzag. And I like to go back the other direction when I lay down the other side. It keeps it from being wonky when you get it sewn down. And if you kind of look, it kind of looks a little puckered and everything. Don't worry about that. When we give this a nice good steam, that will take care of that. Not worried about that. We'll lay that one on there. Sometimes if you tend to sew down strips like this, go this direction, then turn around and go back this direction, it it just makes everything just really kind of off kilter. I don't know how else to describe that. All right, let's take this white I tore. As you can see, the edges are kind of rolled up. It's got some frayed edges on it. Not a deal breaker. We'll fix that once the applique is done. I have come up with some good ideas that I will be some things I want to do different this year. I want to teach more. That is my goal this year, is to teach more. And in with the teaching, I didn't sew down both sides of that. I just sewed right down the middle. And left the curved edge. And when this is washed, after it's appliqued, some of this may curl up some more, which will be perfect. It will look great that way. Let's put down some rick-rack. That's a funny word, rick-rack. And in with teaching my classes, I will have some products that I will have available. Not right now, maybe as soon as tomorrow. I'm working on that, and I will give you a link below to where you can actually buy the item. Once I get, that'll be explained more later. All right, let's go with this little narrow pink, and we'll skip over just a little bit. Some of that yellow show through. Now, whatever color, whatever size your heart, you would need to cut your base square that size. So if you're going to do a 6-inch heart, I would probably drop this square, the base square. I would drop that down to probably 7 inches. No need to be wasteful. It's a great scrap buster. That whenever you have pretty fabrics, even when you get down to very small pieces, you just really, really, really hate to get rid of it. And sometimes these pretty fabrics that you really like are not replaceable. I mean, fabrics go in and out just like any other styles. I have gone to the fabric store, and there be a certain fabric that I have used a lot in a certain quilt. I've got a cotton bowl quilt that I've made, several in the past, and there was a certain fabric that I like to use for that, and I went to the fabric store one day and it was on clearance. I'm like, oh no, that's terrible. So I bought the whole bolt, and I have it now, so if I want to make another cotton bowl quilt, I've got it. All right, let's take this green again, and we're going to go right down the center of this butterfly strip. Just there, you just do whatever you want to. There's absolutely no right or wrong way to do this. If you wanted to, you could change your thread and use a green thread on this, use pink thread on this. I'm not going to do that. I think it looks great the way it is. All right, I'm going to call this one done. There's going to be some yellow sticking out on the top and the bottom of this square. But basically, and then when I applique it, I could applique it going straight. I can turn my fabric and get the desired look that I want. All right, I'm going to put you on hold just a minute and go get the third one off of the embroidery machine. I'll be right back. Okay, I did this one with the stripes going up and down. I do this on a tearaway, because it will be quilted, and that will stabilize my embroidery, and no need to use a cutaway. Cutaways, you know, eventually over time they'll soften up. I use a basting stitch around my design because this is a very dense applique, and if you do not use something to hold that fabric down really, really well, it will roll up while it's appliquing. So I use this base. I know you can't see it because it's white, but it's a very large stitch, very easy to remove. I've loosened it up quite a bit. All right, there it is. And then just pull the stabilizer off the back, just like that. And we have one that has the stripes going up and down. And then we have the ones going basically side to side with a little bit of a tilt to it. And then this one is definitely a diagonal. And I have got enough fabric in one of these to coordinate to put this quilt together. This is going to be a baby quilt, and it's brand new. I've never offered this quilt before. It's, I don't know, you can call it original, but I did take somebody else's idea and tweak it for my own purposes. So, and I'm sure I'm sure she didn't come up with the idea. Somebody, I don't know. Quilts have been around hundreds and hundreds of years. People's been sewing scraps for hundreds and hundreds of years. But these weren't actually scraps, to be honest. I just found me 3 coordinating fabrics, and with the white, the butterflies, and the pink, and just cut me some strips out of them. I don't typically save, really, on most fabrics. I don't have the room to save boxes of this. I really don't. I will save this, and maybe put this in a box, and then later on may come across a really pretty there's red in this with the red and black, and try this with red and black. I don't know if I'll save this or not. I just got through cleaning my shop and really don't want to trash it again, so I don't know. You know, if I had a bigger building, I'd fill it up too. I have to stay within the confines of what I have. Whoop. And my confines are 12 by 32, 30, something like that. So, you know, you have to pick and choose what you want to save. So, but I do have a lot of small pieces of fabric around here that I want to try to, you know, use them in some way to get rid of those and just kind of reduce the amount of small pieces of fabric that I've had left over from other projects. You know, they may be a half a yard, they may be, you know, they may be a fourth of a yard. A lot of those, if it's something I think we'll use in an applique, it goes onto the applique embroidery table over there where we do that stuff. And so it just depends. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed this. And don't forget, I'm going to link the video down below to Darlene. She's very crude, like I said. So, you know, she maybe not for everyone, but I like to watch her. So, but anyway, thank you all so much for watching, and stay, you know, please subscribe, hit that bell notification so you'll be aware of any new videos that I have coming up. And I am going to be coming up with, I think, some exciting new products this year. Follow me on Facebook under Sonya's Quilts and Embroidery. I have a group there that is filled with about 18,000 very, very, very nice people. They, if I do have a troll that comes on every now and then, and that happens, if that does happen, then I have about 100 of my most loyal followers on there that attack. I mean, it's like their claws out and attack that troll. So I'm very, very blessed to have that group of people on Facebook. But it's Sonya's Quilts and Embroidery. And if you will send me a message and say, hey, I subscribe to your Facebook, because I'm very particular. I do go through and I do very carefully pick the people that I allow onto that group. If you joined Facebook yesterday, you probably will not be allowed to be on there. If it's, you know, a lot of scammers out there, so I'm not being prejudiced or anything like that. But if it says you are from Colombia, South America, unless you send me a message that says, hey, I follow you on YouTube, I probably won't accept you. I've had a lot of very provocatively profiles of young women from other countries, and they're not interested in making quilts, so they're not allowed to be on there. I'm very picky, very choosy. So like I said, if you joined Facebook yesterday, your chances are slim on being on there. And I'm sorry, I know people join Facebook every day, but it's, if you show you have no pictures and no friends, you're not going to get on there. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you can, and this doesn't have to be in a heart. You could use fall fabrics and do it in a leaf design. You could do a Christmas tree and do, oh my goodness, that just opens up many possibilities, because Christmas trees can be done in pinks and purples and greens and reds, traditional greens and reds. That's a great idea to do, make your own fabric to do a Christmas quilt. You could do, let's see, squares, triangles. I had somebody one time that ordered a baby quilt, and they wanted shapes on it. So it had a triangle, a square, a circle, and I think an oval. I don't remember. Been a while back. You could do this in the shape of a house, or you could do like the shape of a barn and do some really pretty rustic reds and browns and blacks, and the possibilities are absolutely endless, and creativity, and get your mind to thinking about all the things you could do. I picked the heart for the first one that I did, just to make it simple. Alrighty, I've got 3 done. I think I'm gonna do one more, and I'm going to put this quilt together, and then I am going to work on my next thing that I've got going on, and I will share that with you as soon as it's ready to go. Thank you all so much for watching. Have a great, great, great rest of the day. Bye-bye.